Hello everyone, just a quick warning before we start today. Unfortunately, Lexi had to record this episode in a fallout shelter to keep in line with this episode's themes, so unfortunately her audio quality is not the best, but regardless, we still hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you as always for listening to our podcast.
Hello and welcome to the How Could You Forget podcast. This is a podcast where your hosts Gurdon, Camp, and Lexi cover a topic that maybe you've never heard about or is just too good to forget. Let's get into it.
Whoa, it's a Fortnite podcast.
Also, yes, we are Fortnite.
We are a fortnightly podcast.
We are Fortnite. You know, I'm glad we brought up Fortnite because we are Fortnite in the time sense.
How could you forget Fortnite?
No. I'm glad that you brought up Fortnite because we are a fortnightly podcast, but also Fortnite is a game, and today was inspired by a game. Today we're going to be talking about Fallout in real life.
Whoa.
Perfect segue.
Either of you have any guesses as to what that means?
I genuinely believe that Todd Howard probably just had enough money and stuff going on in there where he just bought out a zone of California, just dropped a nuclear bomb on it, sent in 100 people like a Mr. Beast style video, and was just like, all right, real life Fallout. Let's see who wins.
Oh my goodness.
If you guys aren't,
why not, you know?
If you guys aren't going to buy Fallout, I'll make it Fallout, is what he said.
What,
Oh
you guys
my
want
gosh.
you guys want to be more immersed in Fallout? Okay, here you go. Just like that.
That would be horrible.
It would be terrifying. I feel like we're only 2
horrible.
years away from Mr. Beast doing something like that. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, the Beast games were bad enough.
I dropped 100 teenagers on an island, then dropped a nuclear bomb on it. Whoever survives.
I'm on an island specifically to nuke it to see if everybody survives.
Whoever survives gets to keep the island. And then a thumbnail of him just pointing at a melted child.
Funny enough. Okay, that's not funny. No. But funny enough that you guys went on this whack rant about the Beast games, but make it nuclear. Because we are going to be talking about the nuclear era, or the atomic age, as it's referred to. And there are a lot of nuclear testing times where they do that on islands, so that's very topical.
Lexi, I got a question for you
yeah.
about nuclear. Would the first nuclear age technically have been like pre-everything, like super early times when it was just atoms and stuff? Or are you talking about like
the Big Bang? Is that what you're
like
referring to?
pre-Big Bang, where it was just all atoms and stuff? Like that would be the
No.
Oh, okay.
I would assume that she's talking about like when we started harnessing nuclear power.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay.
Because
Exactly,
we are very
because-
self-centered as a species, so that's how we would organize time.
True.
Well, and also we don't have we have some scientific data from, pre-Earth being Earth, but we have no way of knowing. I mean, when I say the atomic age or the nuclear age, I'm meaning recorded history, like the time period they typically categorize it from the 1940s up until basically kind of the fall of the Berlin Wall, though we're still kind of in this nuclear era because it still exists, so it's kind of like post-nuclear in a way because it's still kind of going on.
Yeah, we still got the States and Russia just like diddling the button every so often.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, pretty much. So no, it's not a Mr. Beast style survive on a nuclear island from radioactivity.
If we reach 1,000 subscribers, we'll do it ourselves.
No, we will not, and I will not. So this topic was actually something that I've thought about because it was just recently Fallout Day, the past couple of weeks or so, and I'm a huge fan of the TV series, as well as I've not played the games, but I've watched people play the games.
I like the games.
Yeah, and so it kind of got me thinking about it. I love the retrofuturism of this era and all of the things that kind of came out of it. But the sci-fi element and all of like the cool architecture and design pieces, aside from that, I was thinking about the fact that there are more and more people that either just didn't live through this era, that were not alive, like all of us, or they didn't even learn about this in school or from family members or anything, so they really have no idea what any of this was like. Also, on a personal note, for whatever reason, I was obsessed with atoms in 5th grade, like,
McIntyre.
literal atoms. No, he was, I don't even know if he was born. He's quite a bit younger than me. He probably was born, but no. Shout out Adam McIntyre. I love his YouTube videos.
I just, whenever I hear Adam, I just think of the one Vine where it's a dude vaping
Adam.
and then he gets blown away by something. Adam! Like that.
Rest in peace. I think the guy with behind the camera for that video said.
Yeah, unfortunately. But no, Adams, yes.
But Adams is, as far as ATOMS, I'm not really sure why I was obsessed with atoms when I was in 5th grade. I still like learning about atomic things and chemistry, but I legitimately checked out, I think, every book that was available in our library about atoms and like atomic structure and what they do.
And you're a scientist now.
I'm not. I am not. Because the next part I was going to say is, do I remember any of it that I read? Unfortunately, I don't. So I don't know if I was just so lost in the sauce that none of it stuck in my brain.
We could be
at
rich
the time,
right now,
but,
Lexi. Gosh,
yeah.
you should have been an atomic scientist.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I mean, I used
totally...
to be. I mean, I'm kind of similar to you in a sense because I was really into like physics in high school. Like that was like the main kind of science streamline that I went down.
Physics is too math for me, though.
See, I don't. I'm one of the like 5 people in my generation that actually doesn't hate math.
I don't.
Like, I
don't hate math.
I remember when I went to college, it was just like randomly a teacher asked like, oh geez, like what's the square of 144? I don't know. And then
12.
immediately I was just like 12. And then everyone was just, they looked at me like I was a fucking wizard. I was, because I was like, I guess no one else could just do that in their heads. And I'm like, what?
You don't remember your times table?
No, whatever.
I struggle with math and nobody helped me, so I hate it.
Oh, fair.
So that's my personal anecdote.
All right.
Eric, math is cool. I'll say it. If Lexi won't, I'll say it. Math is pretty baller.
Pog.
I mean, it's important. I just, again, I hate it because I was not good
I
at it.
hate theoretical math. I think anything past like Calc 2 is kind of unnecessary.
Oh yeah, no, I took calculus. Calculus is when I hit a hard wall. Like I was so bad at calculus.
Calculus, more like calculator. Got him.
So true. Anyway, Adam, sorry, go on.
Yeah, back to your original point.
That was a total tangent, completely unrelated.
So yes, back to something actually cool, chemistry. And there's some math and chemistry, of course, but chemistry is way cooler. So, mixture of thinking about Fallout and then also being like, man, yeah, hey, I remember being obsessed with atoms. And then I'm like, oh, hey, I love, again, the design and the sort of just retro future type of aesthetic. And so I'm like, oh, I actually want to talk about this. So some of this is going to be serious. Some of this is going to just be more of like, oh, wow, historical look back sort of a thing. But we will have a little bit of fun as well. I do have a game towards the middle of this, so there will be some lighthearted moments. This isn't really a trigger warning, because if you've made it this far, we're going to be talking about the
nuclear bombs,
nuclear era, and nuclear bombs. So if that's something that like really freaks you out, this is probably not the episode for you. You should probably go back and listen to the previous episode about Halloween, or we've got plenty of other episodes about more lighthearted.
Go back to the
stuff.
First episode about the person that's paranoid. That'll be a really good one if you're really
there you
anxious.
go. That's fine.
No, I don't think so. You can watch plenty of our other videos / listen to our other episodes if this is not for you. So, just wanted to say that we will be discussing some slightly heavy stuff, but nothing too crazy. So hopefully you are along for the ride, and if not, we totally understand.
Give us a like if you're here, though. Just do that real quick before you leave.
Yeah, give us a like if you like nuclear weapons or you're terrified of them. We won't know
so that means
either way.
100% of people have to now leave a like.
No, don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Very true. But I mean, also there might be some people who are just indifferent, so we have to make sure. Okay.
I'm indifferent about nukes.
leave a like if you enjoy nukes, hate nukes, or are indifferent to nukes.
There we go.
Any of those 3. But don't say which one.
Gosh.
We have to guess.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so in the typical fashion of this podcast, I'm going to go over a little bit of the history / some key points on a timeline, so that way people can orient themselves as to where we are at. Again, I will not bore you for 5 hours with all of the ins and outs of this because A, I just straight up don't have time right now, and B, it's not vital to this episode. If you want to actually learn more in depth about, minute by minute, day by day, how this was unfolding, there are tons of amazing YouTubers who have already covered events like this. So that's not what this episode is going to be. We're not deep diving into any one specific happening within this timeline, just kind of giving you an overview.
Okay.
So this is from the atomicarchive.com. There is a timeline that you can reference by decade. So they actually start in the 1890s on this timeline, which kind of blew me away. I was shocked by that. But the reason that they do that is because in 1895, a man named Wilhelm Röntgen, I hope I'm saying that right.
One of those is probably right.
Don't you speak German, Lexi?
Yeah, a little bit, but Röntgen probably, I don't know. Anyway, this scientist, Mr. Wilhelm, was conducting experiments with cathode rays. Oh my god, I can't say that either. Wow, we're in for a treat today. This Mr. Wilhelm discovered accidentally a new kind of ray. They were so mysterious that he named them X-rays.
Whoa!
Woo, and this is where it begins, naming everything X to be cool.
The X-Files.
Oh no, I mean that didn't really age well.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, just like nuclear discoveries, they didn't age well either. So in 1895, Mr. Wilhelm discovered these rays, but he actually received the first Nobel Prize in physics in 1901 for the discovery of X-rays. And that being said, in 1896, there was a French physicist. I'm not reading his name. I'm so sorry. There was a French physicist that did experiments that led to the discovery of radioactivity. So we were starting to pick up steam as it related to discoveries of nuclear power and just atoms in general, because in the 1900s, Ernest Rutherford and whoever Saudi is, published a theory of radioactive decay, which is pretty crazy. Then in 1904, Rutherford discovered that alpha rays are heavy positively charged particles, and he won a Nobel Prize in chemistry in 1908 for this discovery. This is also when the plum pudding model of the atom was published.
The what?
Which,
sorry.
Haha.
The what?
Well, no. I'm just wondering
not?
I'm assuming you're about to explain it, but I'm curious what plum pudding means in terms of atoms.
Oh, okay. So you guys actually don't know what the plum pudding model is.
No.
It sounds delicious, but
it's not accurate. That's probably why you haven't heard of it. But this was kind of the first model of the atom, and according to this Atomic Archive, they describe it really well. It says it is that the atom is envisioned as electrons surrounded by a soup of positive charge, like plums surrounded by a pudding. That's why it's called the plum pudding model.
Oh,
so pretty
it's
direct.
It's very direct, but it's also just entirely wrong. I see why it's wrong now.
Yeah.
Well, it is entirely wrong, yes. But can see why it's called that, because it's like,
I'm smarter than some 1900 scientists. Take that, nerds. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm dunking on you.
Oh my
A
gosh.
kid 20 years from now is going to be smarter than me. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh my gosh.
Just don't think too hard about
Okay.
it.
I know.
So that was 1904. Then in 1911, the plum pudding model was disproved by an experiment by Ernest Rutherford, and then that is when he discovered the nucleus of the atom. And as well as in 1911, Marie Curie received a second Nobel Prize in chemistry for isolation of radium and plutonium, and for her investigation of their chemical properties. So,
Hey, shout out Marie Curie.
Hey, Lexi.
Yeah, Marie Curie was awesome.
Hey, Lexi.
Yeah.
I do have to ask, are you going to talk about Marie Curie at all going forward, really?
No, let's save that for another episode, because she's fascinating.
She's very fascinating.
That would be a really good episode, actually.
Her bones are very dangerous, is all I'm going to say. All right, continue.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because in 1911, she was investigating radium and plutonium. Or polonium, excuse me, not plutonium. Polonium. Excuse me. I want to issue a correction on that. I saw a P and I ran with it. Polonium. Polonium.
I think her casket has to be lined with lead, by the way, is how dangerous that her bones are.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. So we will do an episode on her.
Eric, that's your first episode. How?
All right, here we go.
She is amazing.
She was very amazing.
But yes, I definitely believe that her bones are dangerous. So, yeah, that was 1911. And then in 1913, Niels Bohr publishes the theory of atomic structure, which combines nuclear theory with quantum theory. I believe the Bohr model is the actual correct model of an atom.
Okay.
As far as we're aware. That's the one I remember learning about. Now, I could be wrong. If any science heads in there, if I am wrong, I am so sorry. But that one sounds like one that I have seen and that is still used. So
probably.
I hope that is true. 1941 let me see. Yes, okay. So March 28th of 1941, American physicists confirmed that plutonium, actually plutonium this time.
There we go.
Hey.
Is fissionable, thus usable for a bomb.
Oh.
So they're like, big brain.
That was quick.
We can do some stuff with this. As well as in December of 1941, President Roosevelt authorized the Manhattan Engineering District. The secret U.S. project to build an atomic bomb, later to be called the Manhattan Project, is put under the direction of the Office of Scientific Research and Development. That's kind of crazy. Keep that in your mind. December of 1941 was when Roosevelt said, we are starting to build this bomb.
Okay.
Officially.
And they're still working on that.
Yeah, I wonder what happened with that.
How could you forget, Lexi?
I don't know. I guess
in a truest
we're gonna find
use
out.
of the phrase of the whole podcast, how could you forget what happened with the nuclear bomb?
Foreshadowing is a literary term.
So in September of 1942, General Leslie Groves is put in charge of the Manhattan Project, and he recruits J. Robert Oppenheimer as scientific director. If that name means something to you, it should. I think it means something to everybody, so we're going to move on.
He was in Barbie.
True. In 1943, Oppenheimer moves the bomb development to a secret laboratory located in Los Alamos, New Mexico.
And how do we know about it, Lexi? That's my question.
Because it's not 1943 anymore.
Okay, so sorry, I'm not trying to keep interrupting. When do you drop the secret moniker off a thing? Like, at what point do you go, this secret lab? Like,
it was still secret back then. Again, it's referring to it past tense.
Oh, okay.
So, like, at that point in 1943, they moved it to a secret laboratory. Obviously, it's not secret now.
True.
But at the time, it was secret. So it's still important to say that instead of just, he just packed up his car and drove across the country. Like,
yeah.
You know?
As you do, Lexi. Come on, as you do.
He just was feeling a little bit silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was feeling silly, goofy mode. Just thought he'd pack up all his nuclear materials.
I am become silly destroyer of worlds.
This topic is so serious, y'all. Like, we are making jokes, but people have died. Like, we want to be clear with that.
Yeah.
Like, we take this very seriously. But that was funny. I have become silly destroyer of goofs. Anyway. So, in 1944, Niels Bohr, who we talked about earlier, presents his memorandum on intentional control of nuclear weapons to Roosevelt. So, it sounds to me like he was like, hey, I know y'all are doing this, but you better be careful. You better, use this sparingly and realize what you have here. I don't know if that really worked because in 1945...
Yeah, what happened?
Yep, we know what happened.
They ended the war and everything was peaceful.
Well, one of those is true.
On July 16th, the U.S. explodes the world's first atomic bomb. They call it the Trinity test at, I'm going to butcher this, I'm so sorry, Alamogordo, New Mexico. So in the deserts of New Mexico, tested the first atomic bomb. This is called the Trinity test. And so that was, again, July 16th. And then August 6th, the first bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan. That was the bomb called Little Boy. That was a uranium bomb. And then August 9th, the second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki, Japan. This was the bomb called Fat Man, and it was a plutonium bomb. As we know, a lot of people died. The environment was destroyed, and we started to learn the first effects of radiation and what that does to a civilian city.
So I know that this is incredibly serious. We saw firsthand on a global scale, let alone specifically in Japan, just how terrible nuclear fallout can be and how truly destructive and potentially world-ending these devices are. But why were they named Little Boy and Fat Man?
That's actually a good question.
I'm actually curious because those names they feel so stupid.
They are very stupid names.
And obviously, like I said, it's not funny. What happened to Japan was absolutely terrible. But those names for atomic bombs are just
Lexi, is it as simple as one of them was smaller than the other one, and so they went, okay,
supposedly.
I'm so smart.
I just did a quick search, so I don't have a source for this other than I just literally looked it up on Bing. So sorry. Apparently, they did it for a couple of reasons. Apparently, Little Boy was a slender uranium bomb, while Fat Man was a bulky plutonium device. So they were shaped differently. There's a little graphic here that it's showing me that is from, it says something about Amazon, but it's also YouTube. I don't know where this comes from. Apparently, they cite the source as the Atomic Heritage Foundation. So I'm going to say it's probably them. The Little Boy bomb had 15,000 tons of TNT equivalent.
Oh.
And Fat Man was 10 times that of Little Boy.
What? Okay, I actually didn't know that they were so different in size.
I did not either.
I did not know that either. I thought they were the same bomb. I'm going to be for real. I thought that we just dropped the same bomb twice.
Why did we? Okay. I'm gonna ask.
And the second one was bigger. That makes it so much worse, actually. Oh my god!
Absolutely.
I'm asking the 1940s scientist right now. Right now, y'all gotta listen legally. Why did you not just make a bunch of plutonium? Okay, cool, we made 2 plutonium bombs, or okay, we made 2 uranium bombs. Why did you go, hey, I mean, we can make 2 different models with 2 different strengths and 2 powers. Why don't we do that? Why did you? What was the point of?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Of stepping it up?
And we are laughing about it and everything right now, but regardless of how weirdly different in size the bombs are and the kind of comedic sounding names, it can't be overstated just how devastating this was for Japan and also what it meant for the entire world. It is. It's bad. It's not good.
There are a few times in history where things are actively changed in an instant, and I feel like that was one of them.
100%.
That is, there are probably, on the top of my head, I can think of maybe 5 instances where the entire world has changed in an instant, and that is probably the number one.
Yeah, I think so. And also, it's interesting that we've been making a little bit of jokes and stuff like that, because they also cite humor as a way of naming these bombs, to try to A, keep it secret, and B, just make it jokey, haha, Fat Man, Little Boy, hee hee, making it more lighthearted than just you bombed 7721 and PD 1220 or
True.
whatever, something.
I mean, I have no doubt they're probably sadistic
sterile
enough to do that, to literally make a joke about killing millions of civilians.
Yeah.
That's America, baby!
I will say there were probably a fair amount of people, though, too, working on some of these projects that did not really understand the, kind of a pun, but the fallout, the literal radioactive fallout, and then the fallout is in the implications. I think there were a lot of people that did not understand just how bad that was going to be. But I guarantee you there were at least a few
absolutely
that knew and didn't care.
Well, again, what I was trying to jump in and say there was specifically, I remember when I was in, I think, elementary or middle school, and we were learning about World War II for the first time, and our teacher had given us a book to read and stuff like that. I remember reading that when it came to the nuclear bombs, that they, this is just a thing I think with most bombs nowadays, is if you blow up a bomb after it hits the ground, if you have the detonator cap on the very tip of the bomb, it technically does not do as much destruction as if you blow it up either a few feet above the ground, because then it won't be impeded by the dirt and soil, like basically blocking half of the destruction if it's along the surface of the ground compared to being literally at surface level. And so they had made a detonator specifically to detonate, like, again, I think about a foot or two above the ground before it hit, so it would have the most impact. So
wow,
jeez,
that's crazy.
They put in work to make sure they killed the most amount of people. Jeez.
And that's the thing. That was my knowledge from elementary and middle school. So that might have been slightly. They might have changed that or not changed it, but like
that might be slightly off. But the idea is that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't just have it completely go into the earth and then they detonate it. You know. Yeah. You like you said. Because
then also this is slight bit of my nerdness coming out of say you dropped one of those bombs and it didn't blow up, because like when it hit the ground, say that the detonator actually didn't go off.
It like killed its momentum.
Yeah, or something. Yeah. Then also you have an unactive bomb that is a danger not just to, of course, every single other person around, but then the possibility that they could then take it and then go, oh, well, we'll make our own bombs as well. And then you have a nuclear arms race on top of that as well. So
leftover materials.
Yeah, so you have... Instead of just one bad thing, you could have infinite bad things.
Oh my goodness.
So, very quick aside. Wanted to jump in and say that.
So, yeah, that was the, big event. I, don't want to understate that, but obviously we can all know that was absolutely wild. That was the inciting incident for the kickoff of what is known as the nuclear era, or the atomic age, really started with the dropping of those bombs. Interestingly enough, in 1949, this is when NATO was established. So after the war, after the bombs were dropped, they're like, yeah, this is bad, and we need to try to get along a little bit more. And so NATO was established in April of 1949, and then in August of 1949, the Soviet Union actually detonated their first atomic bomb.
Oh my god.
So... And it was a copy of the Fat Man bomb, the plutonium bomb.
And where'd they detonate that at? Just on their own soil?
It said somewhere in Kazakhstan. I am not going to try to pronounce this location because I will just be bad, but somewhere in Kazakhstan they detonated this bomb.
Well,
so
sad.
That's pretty wild.
Yes, very sad.
So I have a few more items to go through, quite a bit more, but we'll go through these a little bit quicker because, again, now the inciting incident has happened. And I think this just gives a very interesting picture of how things
Lexi,
progress.
we didn't mention this, but I wanted to make sure that this was also out there. Germany was also working on nuclear weapons as well, right?
Oh, okay. Absolutely. Yeah, we the US just beat the US just beat them to it.
I mean, it makes sense with the time and everything.
For better or worse, yeah. But Germany was also working on nuclear weapons. Honestly, there are probably a couple other countries that were working on nuclear weapons as well. But again, the U.S. just kind of fast-tracked it. And
yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because that is one of the very hard parts of history, right? Is, yes, the nuclear bomb was awful, but also who knows how different every single other thing on Earth would be if, say, Germany made the first nuke instead. Like, that could have changed.
Right. It wasn't as simple as just, well, if the U.S. hadn't done this, it's like, well, agreed, they should not have done that, but they were not the only ones at the time doing it, and so they were, there were multiple people that should not have been doing shit at that time. It was not just one singular
Hey, I know y'all
government.
are in the middle of a world war. Can y'all stop? Thanks. Like,
can we don't?
Y'all gotta chill. Like, for real. Like, the vibes are low key off. I feel like I'm being attacked right now.
This world war is very problematic.
It's just a lot. Yeah, honestly, we need to cancel the world war.
World war. Oh my goodness,
Lord.
So, as we mentioned, obviously, 1945, the bombs were dropped. Over that time, NATO was created. The Soviet Union starts to put together their atomic bomb. They test their first atomic bomb in 1949. Well, in 1950, in January, President Truman announces the decision to proceed with the development of the hydrogen bomb.
H-bomb, baby!
So, this is what's interesting to me. For the longest time, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe Truman wasn't that bad of a guy. Like, he
Lexi, why would you say that?
He dropped the bombs, of course, but like there are a lot of things that go into that. Of course, the president can stop it, but as we know throughout history, there is a lot of pressure on a president to make a decision at times. I don't know why I thought that Truman was maybe not a bad guy. Maybe it's just bias. I grew up in Missouri, and that's where Truman is from, and so could just be Missouri bias. But then, literally today, when I'm reading this fact that he was like, yeah, we're going to develop the hydrogen bomb in 1950, I was just like, okay, no, this dude sucks. Like,
just never mind. You had a chance.
Yeah, no president is good. Like, genuinely. Well, hot take, I know. No president has been good.
Politicians are generally bad people? What?
But Lexi, his name is literally True Man. He has to speak the truth, Lexi.
Yeah, it's not false,
God.
man.
It's not false, man. Lexi, also, can I mention your Truman thing really quickly before we...
Oh, no, I'll say it because you'll say without context and it'll make me sound bad. There was one day in my office that I was talking about how older people tend to just say the most out-of-pocket shit for no reason whatsoever. And I was talking about when I used to work in retail and older people would just say the craziest shit. And I was like, yeah, you'll get an older person that comes in to talk to you and they'll just be like, Truman wasn't afraid to drop the bombs. And everybody in my office just erupted in laughter. And
it's such a good line.
They just thought that was so funny.
So
and I'm like, but for real, like, old people will just be doing that sometimes. Of like, they'll say the most out of pocket thing. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, nice weather we're having, and Truman wasn't afraid to drop the bombs. And you're like, whoa, what? You took that from zero to like 1,000.
We need another president who will be willing to drop nuclear warheads.
Old people talk about the younger generations not understanding social skills. Look at you. Like, what do you mean?
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
That story's always so funny, though.
So just wanted to throw that in there because that is one of my quotes in my office.
One of my quotes.
Truman wasn't afraid to drop the bomb. Yeah, even though I don't agree with it, I wish we had never gone into this territory of nuclear war. So I don't co-sign that.
She tangents
I don't want that quote to be taken out of context. So with that being said, Truman going full steam ahead on the hydrogen bomb. In 1954, the first deliverable hydrogen bomb is tested at Bikini Atoll.
Yeah.
It was called Bravo, and it had a yield of 14.8 megatons.
Jesus.
I don't know what that means, other than that is huge.
Yeah, that's a lot. Well, I mean, what was Fat Man by comparison? Do we know?
I don't think it was a full megaton.
That's a great question. Yeah, I don't think so. Because Little Man was 15,000 tons, and so Fat Man was 10 times that. So yeah, this is, the hydrogen bomb.
Can we assume metric, like whatever dictation or whatever of mega would be like?
I'm pretty sure mega wouldn't mega be
100
million?
Was it 100? Yeah, was it 1 million tons of explosive material?
Anyway, I hate math.
Either way, it's huge.
Described this. Way too big. Way too big. So much so that this was, again, on an atoll, which is its own geography. I hate geography, too. But it's on its own little area.
What do you like?
And history.
Okay, now we disagree on. I hate history. But anyway.
Well, you're learning it right now.
Well, fair. Actually, this podcast is making me like history. I feel like I'm learning more here than I did in any year in high school.
Tell that to your history teachers, kids.
Yeah.
Just put on the podcast.
I knew I was in the 8th grade club History Geeks for a reason.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Fun fact, actually, if you show this podcast to your teacher, that can be extra credit for your history class. So
yeah.
That would be cool, actually. Yeah, we do have all factual information. We let you know when it's a joke versus when, I'm reading all
We might
all
talk
of these...
about dicks sometimes, but...
Yeah, that's true. Maybe college level? I don't know. Maybe
high school.
We need to be an adult.
Maybe don't play the Everlade video for the
That's
teachers.
True. That's true. Don't play that one.
Today, kids, we're going to be learning about Johnsons. Just whoa.
Oh my gosh. Lyndon B. Johnson, for example. We're going to talk about him,
he really
actually.
do be Johnson.
Lyndon do be Johnson, though.
Yeah, we're going to talk about him. So, Yeah, 1954, hydrogen bomb tested at Bikini Atoll. This was so big that the radioactive fallout affected local islanders in a nearby fishing boat.
Hey, Lexi.
So, I mean, absolutely just demolished. Yeah.
Is that where Bikini Bottom comes from? Is that why all the fish have like legs and stuff? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
That's the fan theory. That's like I don't know if it's ever actually been confirmed, but that's why Bikini Bottom is just so strange and they can talk and all this stuff is because it's supposed to be the equivalent of like Bikini Atoll.
Dang, the more you know. Show this to your history teacher.
Yeah, that is.
Again, that's never been confirmed, I don't believe, but that's a fan theory.
I mean, with how wild SpongeBob
theory.
can get, I could believe that. Like that was the intent behind it.
Yeah.
Right. The other interesting thing that happened in 1954 was between April and May. It says hearings regarding Oppenheimer's loyalty caused him to lose his security clearance. This is not an episode about Oppenheimer, so we won't dive into that, but I think that they cover that in the film about, Oppenheimer's kind of descent into being like, what the hell happened, kind of a thing.
I am become silly, yeah.
Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, like I can't imagine. I need to still watch that film, but I can't imagine.
It's a really good film. Honestly, I did watch it.
Like
I did the Barbenheimer thing.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was great.
Do you think it did a good job of like showcasing kind of what ended up happening to him or how he felt about it?
I would say so, because it does go over like not just the creation of the bomb, but like how he was like recruited, and then afterwards, like including the trial about his loyalty and everything. Like, making sure he's not part of the communists or whatever the hell. Like it went over pretty much everything in detail, I would say. And of course, it's directed by Christopher Nolan, so it's wonderfully directed.
Yeah.
Is there a correct order to watch Barbenheimer in? Like, are you supposed to start with the fun and then get to the depressing, or start with the nuclear bombs?
We did Barbie first and then Oppenheimer, just because that's how the schedule is laid out. I feel like that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Because
I would think I would want to watch Barbie as like a
palate cleanser.
Kind of cleanser? Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know. For me personally, I liked Oppenheimer more than Barbie, to be quite honest, like just because it gave me more like to chew on.
Oh, absolutely.
But I can understand, like, if Barbie's more your vibe, or if you just want to have a fun night out, then I feel like you could do Barbie last, and that would be better. So you can get the sad thoughts of nuclear Cold War terror out of your head.
Right.
If you don't like that, which I feel like a lot of people don't.
If you don't like.
Speaking of Cold War terror, we are now firmly into that era. In 1961, in February, the U.S. launches the Minuteman I missile, as well as later in that year, in 1961, the USSR resumes nuclear testing, and then like 2 weeks later, the U.S. resumed nuclear testing. So we were kind of like, all right, it's heating up. In 1962, as we all probably know, maybe you don't, October 16th through the 28th was the Cuban Missile Crisis. And for those of you who are not aware, this is actually the closest the world has ever come to nuclear war.
I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, so that was the Cuban Missile Crisis. That was during the JFK administration. I want to say that I think it was a matter of a couple of minutes, if not seconds, that they called off this launching of bombs, basically. I can't find an exact moment or minutes, calculation or anything, but all I know is from, what I've learned, and it was very, very close, and it was very scary.
Shout out to that Russian guy who saw a flock of birds but thought it was missiles coming and went, I don't think that's, or like the machines thought it was nuclear missiles, and he went, I don't think that they'd be launching all them missiles, and just didn't launch the Russian nukes back.
Yeah.
So.
Gosh, is that actually what happened?
Yeah, there's a real homie out there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
In 1963, in June, the U.S. and the USSR signed the Hotline Agreement. I don't know exactly what that means.
Is that Drake?
But no. Then in August, they also signed the Limited Test Ban Treaty, which is exactly what it sounds like, limiting the tests of nuclear devices in the atmosphere, outer space, and underwater. So they were like, maybe we need to chill again.
Hey,
maybe we need
Lexi,
to chill
question.
Again.
Are you going to mention Tsar Bomba or can I?
No, I'm not going to mention Tsar Bomba because we're already almost an hour in.
Tsar Bomba was so big it literally blew a hole in the atmosphere. That's why I think they also had to realize we need to stop with these nuclear bombs. So,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, also
That would do it. That would
funny that you said that, because in 1967, in January, the Outer Space Treaty banned nuclear weapons being placed on any celestial body or in orbit around the Earth.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, yeah, don't take them into space either.
Fun fact, they've also banned regular missiles from out of space. So just in military terms, because that would be extremely overpowered. So instead, the compromise is they just stuck giant tungsten tubes in outer space that they will then launch from outer space. So when they hit the Earth, they have the power of a tungsten tube from space.
What?
Oh my goodness.
So so the rule is that you can't launch missiles into space,
or
but
outer
you can
space.
launch missiles out of space.
No, you cannot launch missiles like into the atmosphere or like launch missiles from the outer atmosphere. But say, for example, you have a satellite, but the satellite is just full of these tungsten tubes. Those tungsten tubes are not missiles.
You can fire from in space to Earth.
Oh, so it's not meant to be a missile, but it could be a missile.
But it has no payload, so it is technically not a missile. It is just a giant piece of metal.
That's thinking with portals.
It really is. Sorry, continue.
Okay, I would say I still got quite a bit, so we be going. 1970, the Non-Proliferation Treaty enters into force. This was basically saying that, hey, nuclear weapons are bad, and let's prevent the spread of the nuclear weapons, as well as go aiming towards disarmament of nuclear weapons and using nuclear energy for actual peaceful things instead of war.
Yay!
So that's basically what that was. However, in 1970 as well, in August, the U.S. deploys the first missile with multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, or MREs. If you've heard that term, that's what that means. So in 1977, the United States successfully tests a neutron bomb.
What?
The primary lethal effects of a neutron bomb, also known as enhanced radiation weapon, come from the radiation damage caused by the neutrons it emits.
What on earth? What?
So they're like, oh, we're going to hit people with extra radiation.
Sure.
They made radiation too.
Why not? Sure.
They made a
It was
oh my God.
so bad that in 1978 they canceled the development of the enhanced radiation weapon or the neutron bomb. They're like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't do that.
They made nukes too, and they went.
You thought about it if you could so hard that you didn't stop to think if you should. What's the advantage of that?
Yeah,
hey, you might have nukes 1, but we have nukes 2.
Absolutely wild. So then, in 1981,
Lexi, this is going so
Reagan
far.
reauthorizes the production of the enhanced radiation weapon or neutron bomb. Reagan's like, nah, we doing that shit. We doing that shit for real.
Reagan smash.
In 1983, Reagan announced that the U.S. will embark on an extensive research and development program to examine the feasibility of a missile defense program. The Strategic Defense Initiative is later dubbed Star Wars.
Yeah!
So,
I know
President
that one.
Reagan did Star Wars. I hate
Thank you for
Reagan.
mentioning Star
The
Wars.
original.
Lexi.
I'm pretty sure everyone with a functional brainstem hates Reagan.
It is not
but,
time for guests of Star Wars. No. We still have things to go through. No.
You don't know Glub Shitto coming soon.
I don't. We don't have time for a Glub Shitto today.
Oh.
1986, as a lot of people probably also know, was the Chernobyl nuclear reactor meltdown in the Soviet Union. That was a huge deal, obviously.
Yes.
And gave us a lot of information about nuclear energy and reactors.
And put us back on nuclear energy 50 years.
And yes, it did.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was gonna say I know
unfortunately.
we're a little bit like crunched for time right now, but I just want to say there's actually a YouTube video I saw that's like an emulation of the reactors at Chernobyl, and you
Oh,
can
that's
see,
so I've seen that.
It is so
so
crazy because it looks completely normal,
creepy.
and then the last 10 seconds, just all of a sudden, like it goes haywire, and it's crazy. Like you don't even notice it till it's too late. Like it is wild how volatile it is.
That is
Not to diss nuclear energy because I think nuclear energy is lit, but yeah, Chernobyl was bad.
Hot take.
Right.
Chernobyl kind of sucked.
Yeah, Chernobyl. I mean, it definitely showed the world like what can go wrong with harnessing nuclear energy, which sucks because if you harness it correctly, it's amazing and powerful and not as much waste as a lot of people think. But then you get Chernobyl, and
And then people go, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then in 1989, as again a lot of people probably know as well, the Berlin Wall fell in November. and that marked the actual official end of the Cold War.
Woo!
So that's notable because, again, end of the Cold War. However, we are not done with notable things
Oh no.
in nuclear energy. So in 1991, President Bush Sr. and Gorbachev signed the Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, or START. The treaty called for the elimination of almost 50% of nuclear warheads carried by ballistic missiles. They started to try to kind of, ramp down the usage of nuclear warheads. However, in December of that same year, 1991, President Bush Sr. signs the Missile Defense Act of 1991, which mandates the Department of Defense to develop a missile defense system. So they're like, we will get rid of the nuclear warheads, but we still do not trust you. So we will have a missile defense system.
Well, is that a system that then like shoots down missiles? I assume like that would be my assumption.
Yes, but it's not nuclear. It's not nuclear. I don't believe. It's just to defend against a nuclear.
Well, that's because Star Wars was stupid and would never work in science, so they had to go.
Because Reagan is stupid.
You can't make lasers
Reagan
in space
sucked.
that shoot down missiles. That's stupid, Reagan. Sorry, continue. Piss me off. Continue.
So 1995, in August, President Bill Clinton announces a total ban on all U.S. nuclear weapons testing. Other countries at this time do start to do their own sorts of nuclear testing, but from what I'm seeing, it was nothing that was that alarming to people. That is until a little bit later on, which we will get to. But in 1999, Bill Clinton signs the National Missile Defense Act and says that the threat, cost, technological status, etc. of a national missile defense and adherence to the treaty are critical in making his decision to deploy such a system. So he's basically saying like, hey, I'm not so sure about this. We need to figure out what we're doing here. And then later in that year, October of 1999, the first of the 150 Minuteman 3 missile silos are destroyed. Very quick thing about that, if you are not aware, there were actually missile silos on farms. I think we talked about this in another episode, so it'll be very brief. There were missile silos actually on people's land, on farms, for the vast majority of it, in the United States. So much so that I actually did have a history teacher that grew up on a farm where there was a missile silo underground, to where there was a time that he was out in the area, either trimming something up, doing grass, whatever, and he actually did trip basically the safety sensor on it.
Oh.
Which, thankfully, at that point, that does not mean it launches or anything. That just alerts the feds. It just alerts the feds, hey, this thing has been tripped. And they sent some people out there to go assess and make sure that everything was fine. No, they didn't get him. He didn't get in any trouble or anything. I'm sure they weren't happy, but...
Imagine if we accidentally made the missile go off and then that's what started World War III.
There's no way. That would be stupid to have on civilian land.
And then have it so easily able to activate.
And it boop. Yeah.
Well, I got a topic for next week.
I just basically tripped the sensor, and then the feds came out and were like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they had to explain. "Oh, sorry, that was false alarm. We didn't mean to do that." And they were like, "Okay, stop." So then in 2002.
Oh wow! Okay.
October. North Korea tells U.S. officials that it has developed a secret nuclear weapons program in violation of the 1994 agreement. I don't know why. It's funny, it says North Korea tells U.S. officials. Like, why would you be like, yeah, we violated this agreement?
I don't know why. I mean, I guess because it's the United States and they don't really care about agreements.
I guess. They're just like, yeah, screw your agreements, we don't care. Wrapping up, obviously a lot kind of happens in this time. A lot with North Korea, a lot with Pakistan, Iran, a lot of other stuff, but that's not really as much related to today's topic or what we're going over. In 2016, in May, Barack Obama visited Hiroshima, being the first sitting U.S. president to do so.
It
in
took
2016.
Them 2016. So it took them 71 years to actually
send an active sitting U.S. president to go visit. Yes, that's wild. And also, maybe, you know what? If I was Japan, maybe I wouldn't want a president to come visit me. maybe I
I
would
was
say
gonna say
screw
at that
you.
point it's like too
So-
little, too late. Like, why?
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Interestingly enough, the last thing on this atomicarchive.com that they have for the 2020s is actually in the year 2020, and it says, as of May 21st, the United States announced that it will withdraw from the Open Skies Treaty, which is a critical arms control verification treaty. Basically, what this means is this allows aerial surveillance flights over an entire territory of whoever is participating, so that way you can't be secretly doing shit, pretty much. And it's very interesting because it said it started in January of 2002, and it has 32 party states that are active. And so the U.S., as of 2020, withdrew from that treaty, and then Russia announced in 2021 that they would like to withdraw as well, and they formally withdrew in December of 2021. So, yeah,
to say, what
I
other-
thought that was very interesting.
What other states are like, is a country that doesn't have nukes going to be like, yeah, you know what? You can fly over anytime, brother. You can check. Like, we're
well,
good.
no,
Like,
these are definitely countries.
I know
that
they're
have
nuclear powers, but I'm just like, if the two major ones, like, again, I know that England and like other places like that have, or the United Kingdom have them, but like the two major powerhouses are like, all right, but what if we weren't then? So then, like, what's the point of the treaty at that point?
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think that's been discussed by, quite a few people recently, within the last 5 years, because again, U.S. withdrew in 2020, Russia in 2021. I think people are like, yeah, so why do you all of a sudden have a problem with it if you're not doing something you shouldn't be? Like, seems kind of sus.
They're just like, shut up.
As an American. Yeah, they're like, huh? Yeah, don't, this is a joke. This is a joke, FBI man.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Hypotheticals in Minecraft. But yeah, so that was the timeline. Again, I said brief. I kept it kind of brief.
It's only just over an hour. Well, not including once we edit out the intro bit.
Well, that
It'll
was a
probably be an
fun
hour.
episode, Lexi. Thank you.
That's part one, and I got a game for
All
you.
right,
I
let's
got a
get
game
into
for you.
nuclear November.
So, wanted to just discuss all of those things, obviously give them the weight that they deserve. It's very interesting to me that there was so much uncertainty in this era, but there was also just such and I mean, when I say the atomic era, I'm talking about from 45 up until like the late 80s, not the stuff that goes into the modern era. But it's also very cool that there were fallout shelters built, not the game. There were fallout shelters built, and my dad actually has a sign from an old warehouse he used to work in for their fallout shelter. And I believe there is a sign.
Did he just take it?
Yeah, he was just, they gave it to him. Like, they were removing stuff, and like, yeah, because he used to work for this company, and then they got bought out, and I don't think they destroyed the building, but they were going to like renovate pieces of it. And so when they got bought out, yeah, they just had all this like random stuff. And he's like, "Can I have that?" And they're like, "Sure, here you go."
Okay.
Like, they didn't care. My dad's kind of random like that. He'd be the kind of person to be like, "Can I have that random sign?" But it's
Zany
really cool.
Lexi dad.
Yeah, oh, zany dad. But then I think there's also one in my grandparents' town. There was a sign there, and it was below the bank, I want to say. So very interesting. I'd be curious to see if it's still there. But speaking of fallout shelters, we have our game today, and it's how could you forget MRE flavors? This
What's an
is
MRE?
more lighthearted. What I don't even know exactly.
Meal ready to
let me
eat
look it up.
is what it's.
Is it meal ready to eat?
Yes.
I thought it was maybe meals readily eat. Okay, I don't know. Meals ready to eat. Yeah, exactly. So of course, what do you need in your shelter besides water and medicine and candles?
Friends.
You need food. Well,
Oh.
sure. So MREs actually had their first run in 1981. Before that, they were called C rations as a part of the military. So I guess before this, for civilians, it was just kind of non-perishable items. I don't think there were actual, like, other than the C rations, of course, I don't think there were actual government issued, like, kits or anything. So for this game, I'm going to give you guys a name of an MRE, and you're going to have to tell me whether you think it is true, that it is real, or it is false, and I made it up. Okay.
All right.
All right. Is this similar to the last episode where you list them all out? We have to pick a few of them.
No, I'll just go one by one, so that way we can work through them a little bit quicker. So.
Okay, true. All right.
And then that way the audience at home can play along, between each one, not have to remember.
True.
So true, besties.
So, first MRE is meatballs and barbecue sauce. Is it
Oh, I
true or
mean,
false?
I mean, same as Gurdon. I would say true. That seems like a pretty
True.
generic, easy to assemble thing.
Okay, Camp true, Gurdon true. Is that
I
what
mean,
we
I
have?
said true. I don't actually. I think this one's false, but I'm sticking with
Sticking
true.
with
So
true?
You made your bed. You're going to lie in it.
It is true.
Woo!
This was from the first MRE run in 1981 to 1985. One of the first meals. Vegetable crumbles with pasta in taco sauce.
Vegetable crumbles?
Vegetable crumbles
With a B.
with pasta
Crumbles.
in taco sauce.
I'm going false. Crumble sounds like a fake thing.
Okay.
I was going to say, the mix of flavors as well as a little bit. Because when you hear pasta, you would assume it's like the main part of the dish. I'm
Right.
gonna say that's
Like-
false too.
The sequel.
Okay, you guys both saying false?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Really?
It is real.
What are
It
vegetable
was real.
crumbles?
It is in a 2021, the latest batch of MREs.
It's a woke MRE.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh. Okay, moving on to the next one. Chicken loaf.
False. Calling it.
Well, that's it.
Call
That's
shot,
It's
call
just
shot.
chicken
Chicken
loaf.
False.
I'm going to say true, actually.
It is true.
Okay.
Chicken loaf from
Let's go.
1981 to 1985. Camp, you did get that right.
I stay winning.
If all of these are true, I'm gonna be sad.
Well, you just
Get
got
good,
it.
I know.
Only
Try.
one way to find out.
Alrighty, the next one. Turkey and beans.
False.
False,
I want one to be
okay?
false.
Okay, I'll keep picking. I will keep picking true then.
Okay.
Because that
Camp
sounds.
says true.
Yeah.
This seems very real, but I'm still saying false. I'm sticking to my guns.
It is false.
What?
Turkey and beans is not.
I don't know.
And
Turkeys
one
and
of
beans. I
them.
mean, if you can have vegetable
There are
pasta
a
and
lot
taco
of-
sauce all shoved in a box, you can put turkey and beans in
Yeah.
a box.
Yeah. So true.
So true, besties.
Okay, next one. Mexican rice and bean bowl.
True. That's got to be true.
You think true?
I would say true. I feel like that's one of the later woke ones.
And you are correct. That is a 2021 MRE, Mexican rice and bean bowl.
right.
Oh my
Let's go.
gosh. I hate y'all. Woke MREs. Is
How
that
could you
the
forget woke
episode
MREs?
now? We talk about very serious things like nuclear
And then
war and
an hour
radiation.
in, a woke MRE joke.
Oh my god.
The game is where we get to be a little bit silly. This is our government mandated silly time.
Yeah, I have become destroyer of silly.
woke.
I have become woke destroyer of silly. There we go. Wow.
There we go.
Okay, we have 5 more.
We're all
we have
tied
5 more.
All right.
Yes, you are tied. Ground beef with spiced sauce.
False.
I'll go true this time. I was leaning more
Yeah,
towards
because it's
true, but I
not
think
like
it's
not
Okay.
like I don't think it's just a pack of ground beef. I would say that's false.
Okay, so wait. So Cam says false. Gordon, you said also false, or you
no.
said
I'm
true?
going true also,
Okay.
just so we have some
And
difference.
it is true.
Really?
It was the 1981 to 1985.
That seems like a 1980s food. Just ground
It
beef and
does.
sauce.
I mean, that's what I
Okay.
eat in college sometimes. Just
Yeah.
some
True.
ground beef and some sauce.
Maple pork sausage patty.
Oh, true. Like,
yeah,
you can get those now.
But
like,
is it an MRE?
oh,
Just
that's a
'cause
good
you,
question.
Yeah, just because you can get a Jimmy
I-
Dean, does that mean it's an MRE?
I will say true because I feel like you could preserve sausage patties pretty easily.
I'm
Okay.
sticking with true as well. That way, if we
Alrighty.
both go down, we both go
You
down.
guys are right. It is
Let's
the 2021 MRE.
This is a
maple
woke-
pork sausage
this is a
patty.
woke
Let's
MRE.
go.
Oh my god. Okay. Next one. Coconut lime rice.
Ooh.
False.
You think false?
I think it's too woke. I think that's
You
too
think
woke
it's
of a
too
food.
woke?
Yes.
What even
But
is the
veggie
criteria
crumbles?
for the?
Oh
Because
my
I feel like for the
gosh.
military, they want to have at least some form of protein. So I feel like just going
True.
with coconut lime.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I guess I didn't tell you guys though too of like, I mean, there is also just like chicken
just like
chunks or
individual
whatever that you could
portions,
you could add to something.
Okay.
Sorry,
Ooh.
not to throw a wrench in it, but I just wanted you to know.
you're good,
Like,
you're good.
yeah,
I've been hit with a wrench, but okay.
yeah.
Gosh, I'm gonna Gurren, what do you say again?
I said false.
Okay, I'm gonna say I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say false purely because I hope it doesn't exist because I hate coconut.
Oh, you guys are right. Dang it, I didn't trick you.
I was
Coconut
considering
lime rice
true.
isn't real. But it is true what I said. They do have packages of like tuna and like chicken chunks and stuff that you could add to
sun-kissed tuna.
something.
Yeah, sponsored.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. So you're able to mix and match stuff and save packaging. Well, I guess not save packaging. Whatever. You know what I mean? All right.
Exactly.
All right, I'm still
Okay.
up. I'm still up, baby.
Next one. Chicken a la king.
Chicken a la king.
That sounds French or
I
something.
know.
Honestly,
Like,
that
maybe Cajun.
sounds so out of pocket, like more so than what I think you would make up. So I'm going to say that that's true.
Yeah, that seems way too
Okay.
specific. So I'm also going true because I've never heard of
You
a
assuming
guys
it's
are
some
before.
correct.
Yay! I'm assuming it's some
Woo!
kind of way to do chicken that I haven't heard of.
Yeah, 1981 to 1985 MRE. Okay.
Is that like Cajun
And last-
chicken? That sounds kind of good.
Last one.
Just ignore me.
Jalapeno pepper jack beef patty.
Pepper jack beef patty.
Ooh.
Jalapeno pepper jack beef patty.
Wait, what's the current score between me and Gurden? So we know
I'm
what the
down
stakes
one, so we're going to have to double this one because I could just.
We wanna
Okay,
double this one?
double for winnings. Okay.
All right.
And I will literally just do whatever the opposite of camp is, so
Oh,
it's
God.
all
Oh
on
my
his
gosh.
shoulders.
See,
So-
I was about to say I would let you go first so I could pick the same answer, and then I win either way. Okay. Well, I mean, I'll do fair is fair. Let me go. Pepper jack patties.
Yeah, jalapeno pepper jack beef patty.
True.
that means I'm
Okay.
false then.
Fall.
Okay.
It is true. It is
I
from
knew it.
2021.
I knew it. That was a woke
I figure I don't know how
MRE.
common spicy stuff would be in MREs, so that was a bit of a gamble. But
Yeah, the MREs from 2021, they're pretty diverse actually. Like they don't
Oh.
sound terrible.
yeah, it sounds like they
So-
actually got flavor.
Yeah.
So yeah, woohoo! Camp
Yippee!
won the MREs. He's the MRE champ.
Camp the MRE champ. Yes.
The woke MRE champ. Oh,
Let's
my
go.
goodness. That's so crazy. So, to get back into it, I've got a little bit left here, even though I've been yapping.
Another hour. Yes.
No, I do not have another hour.
We're gonna read. This is gonna be the new longest episode, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my
Woo!
gosh, maybe. Because we're too woke.
True.
So, of course, we heard all the history and all the facts and all that stuff. But I think what's really interesting is to look at what was going on with civilians at this time, not just like the government developments and not just, of course, the very horrific thing of actually dropping the bombs, but what was life like for people during the Cold War going through this stress and anxiety of, is the bomb going to drop? When is it going to drop? Where is it going to drop? You know, feeling this looming anxiety. And one of the interesting things that the US did was create, they say school drills, they say a cartoon, I say it's propaganda, of the duck and cover Bert the Turtle. Have you guys ever heard of duck and cover?
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
I have not. Are we gonna do? Is it gonna be like the PSA episode?
So yeah, well, you are in luck. You are in luck. I do have a clip of this. Now, the whole entire thing is 9 minutes. We're not watching that. We're gonna watch the first like minute or so of this to give you a good idea.
When you walk in.
Bro is not alert.
He knew just what to do. He ducked
The monkey's gone.
I love how
Just
the monkey
goes
just
away.
poofed away.
Yeah, the monkey disappeared, and then the tree looked like it just got cut down.
and you and you and you. Duck
Yep.
and cover.
Yep. Monkey's gone again. All right.
Be sure and
Yep.
remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck
Thanks.
and cover.
Thanks, Bert,
This is
and
an
the
official civil
the
defense
monkey.
film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association. Produced by Archer Productions Incorporated.
Hey, shout out Archer Productions
Hey,
Incorporated.
Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people, please.
Bro, you just tried to blow him
All
up.
right.
Why would he
Really
want to
can't
come
blame
out?
you. You see, Bert is a very, very careful fellow. When there's danger, this is the way he keeps from being hurt. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face.
That's not her
Duck
neck.
and cover underneath the top or chest, or anything else close by.
Cover your neck doesn't cover
In
her.
Betty's school, they're talking about the atomic
Yeah,
bomb,
well,
too.
sucks to
Betty
be
is
her.
asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning.
Whoa.
We think that most of the time we will be warned before the bomb explodes. You may be in your schoolyard playing when the signal comes.
Oh no!
This is wild.
That signal means to stop whatever you are doing and get to the nearest safe place fast.
That guy putting on his
Always remember,
jacket like, oh.
Flash of an atomic bomb can come
He's gotta
at
look
any
spiffy
time.
when it drops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a look baller.
If there is a warning, you will hear it before the bomb explodes.
Great.
Sometimes, and this is very, very important, sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Then
Just the
first
flash.
thing we would know about it would be the flash. When there is a flash, duck and cover
Hi,
and do
Bert.
it fast. Here are
Dude,
some older
turtles are
boys
OP for
showing what
nuclear
to do
bombs, I'm gonna
if the
say
flash
it.
comes when you are not in
Yeah.
the classroom. This is what to do if you should be in a corridor. You duck and cover tight against the wall this way. Remember to keep your face.
So he's
the
actually
back of
kind of
your
covering his neck. He
covered
might not
tightly.
die.
Yeah, he'll
Try to
live.
fall away from
Yeah.
windows or doors.
Not the one
with
girl from
glass in
earlier.
it.
No.
You might be eating your lunch when the flash comes. Duck and cover under the table. Then, if the explosion makes anything in the room
Okay, he's the
fall
only one
down,
that'll survive.
it can't fall
Yeah.
on
Do you think the bullies would make fun of you for
Getting
ducking and
ready
covering too
means we
soon?
will all
Just
be
like,
able to take
ha
care of
ha.
ourselves.
Probably.
Ha
It's a
ha.
bomb. Duck and cover. Paul and Patty know what to do.
See, and
Paul
we
covered the
laugh
back of his
now,
head
but
so that he
like,
wouldn't be burned.
you know.
Yeah, his
Patty
neck's
covered
covered. He's
herself with
good.
the coat she was carrying. They knew
Patty,
how
I'm so
to
sorry.
duck and
You've
cover.
died.
They acted right away when the flash came.
Oh my goodness.
Here's Tony going to his Cub Scout meeting. Tony knows the bomb can explode any time.
Oh, he's
of the
about to get
year,
harassed
day
by
or
those
night.
two
He's
bullies.
ready for it.
They're gonna get him.
Duck and cover. Atta boy, Tony. That flash means.
Atta boy, Tony.
Attaboy, Tony.
Atta boy, Tony.
This wall was close by, so that's where he ducked and covered.
That's gonna block you from
Tony
nuclear
knew what to
bombs.
do.
Yes, that
Notice how
small
he's
ankle high
He's not
wall.
covering his neck, though.
No,
he's
he's
not
really-
covering his neck, though, so it might not
until
work.
he
Yeah.
is sure the danger is over.
We all know the neck is the weak
The
spot.
man helping Tony is a civil defense worker. His job is to help protect us when there is danger of the atomic bomb. We must obey the civil defense worker.
Why has he got an arrow on his
We
head
must know
though?
how
Is he an
to
avatar?
duck and cover
It's
in
duck
a
and
school
cover.
bus or in any
Oh.
other
Get
car
down.
or streetcar.
For the audio listeners, it was an animated video of a turtle walking. The turtle walked, and eventually a small piece of dynamite on a string
Held by
is
a
held next to the
monkey.
turtles. You don't see the monkey yet, but you just see it being held from
Yeah.
the side, and it's about to blow up. And then Bert, the turtle, goes, and then like drops down. But there's a monkey holding it on a string next to a tree, and when it explodes, the monkey is nowhere to be found. The tree is blown up. So that's
Yeah.
about the only visuals that you really miss, besides the children ducking and covering. Some of them, as we said, not covering their necks, so they are doomed to death.
Yes.
And the other ones covering their necks and will survive into the next generation.
They will become immortal. Yes.
Yes. Just like that guy with the arrow on his head. That's why he was perfectly fine on the reaction to the nuclear
Just
bomb.
unaffected by nuclear fallout if
Yeah.
you have an Arn hat on.
Yeah, with
The
an
Avatar
arrow.
symbol.
Yeah, the avatar symbol.
Oh gosh.
But there you go,
I also
Lexi.
get what you mean about Lexi about it kind of feeling propaganda-ish. It's like you must obey the civil defense
Right.
people, and it's like
Yeah, it's like the technique is not bad of like, oh, get to the ground and cover yourself up. Like that's basically all you can do. Like you're probably screwed in that moment.
Well, yeah.
So like the only thing you can do is try to cover yourself, protect your spinal cord, your neck, try to avoid glass. Like those are all great tips, genuinely. But yeah, it was just like, and then listen to this and go here, and it's like, oh. But I'm glad that you said that, because according to a history.com article that talks about duck and cover, of course it explains it. We saw the little clip about it. But I like what it says here, where it says, an atomic attack in the film is presented as one more danger children could protect themselves against, similar to fire, automobile accidents, and even a bad sunburn. In the case of an attack, the film instructs students to make like Bert, duck under tables or desks or next to walls, partly cover the backs of their necks and their faces. and to always obey civil defense workers tasked with ensuring their safety. It goes on to say, today's viewers may well react negatively to Duck and Cover and its jarring, pleasant, light tone. But in the early 50s, most Americans knew little about what would actually happen when an atomic bomb exploded. And the idea was to warn, but not frighten, the children taking part in the drills. Historian Joanne Brown writes of how teachers in Detroit sang songs, told stories, and played records while the children were in the refuge area, while a teacher in Newton, Massachusetts decorated a school bomb shelter as a reading den.
Oh.
And according to, I think somebody they quoted earlier, someone with the last name of Wellerstein, the juxtaposition of that kind of imagery, let's read a book and tell stories with the horrors of an atomic bomb, leads a lot of people then and now to say, I don't think this is going to work. But they basically said that, in the beginning, it was like, oh, well, that's something for people to be able to do in a response. But it became an even more inadequate response to a nuclear threat because in 1961, the Soviets did explode 58 megaton bomb Tsar Bomba. So there you go, 58 megaton. Had the force equivalent to more than 50 million tons of TNT, more than all of the explosives used in World War II.
Yep, in one bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. So starting off, the Duck and Cover drills were about more so easing anxiety. Obviously, they did not...
just close your eyes, it'll all be okay, is basically what they said.
And according to this History.com article, which is absolute fire, this is such a good article, it says another key criticism of Duck and Cover focused on the intent behind it. What many people saw as the government's way of sanitizing nuclear weapons and making people complacent and accepting this as the new status quo. So I think that's very apt. And unfortunately, it's really reminiscent of the way that they discuss school shootings in America for me, because it's like, oh, all of these drills and what you're supposed to do if there's an active shooter and stuff. And it's like, it's great to be prepared 100%. I would never disagree with that.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
But it does almost normalize it like, oh, well, you should know what to do in case this happens because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's like, ugh, I don't know.
Yeah.
That still rubs me the wrong way.
It is an odd way to go about it, I would say. IMO.
So, I wanted to highlight that as well as hit on the last point about the doomsday clock. You guys know about the doomsday clock?
Yeah. My wife talked about it.
I did.
No, who's your wife? Lexi, you're his wife?
Oh my gosh, what?
Whoa!
Who?
Who?
The doomsday clock was created it's not a real clock, by the way. It's not a legitimate clock. It is a clock as more of a metaphor of how close we are to a global catastrophe. And this was organized by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists. And then it's very funny. Also, I'm looking at this Wikipedia page, and it says, this article is about the symbol of global catastrophe. For other uses, say, see Doomsday Clock, disambiguation. For the Linkin Park album, see Minutes to Midnight Linkin Park album.
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know that the Minutes to Midnight Linkin Park song, because I'm a big Linkin Park fanboy. I didn't know that album title was based on the Doomsday Clock.
Right. So as far as the Doomsday Clock goes, in 1947 was when it was started. It was set at 7 minutes to midnight, obviously because we had dropped nuclear bombs and people were doing nuclear testing, so they were like, this is not good. Since then, it has been set backwards 8 times, so again, less danger, farther away from global catastrophe, 8 times. We have set it forward, closer to global catastrophe, 18 times. The farthest time from midnight or doomsday was 17 minutes, and this was in 1991. So this is when a bunch of people were signing treaties. We talked about the era leading into the Clinton administration where they were like, we are going to try to, disarm these things, work towards treaties, all that jazz. And it was actually set to the closest it has been to midnight. We are 89 seconds from midnight as of January of 2025.
Oh, jeez. I'd be interested to see what it would be now if they did another audit, considering, what a year this has been. They
just did it in January, yeah. So, we're 89 seconds from midnight. Interestingly enough, though, I don't really like how they do the doomsday clock now, because let's see, I think it was, let me look at this thing here.
She's looking.
In 2007, climate change was also added to the threat levels. Which, like, don't get me wrong, climate change is super important. It's super important that we keep an eye on that and that we do what we can. You know, I'm a firm believer in climate change. But I think it being added to the doomsday clock is kind of throws you off a little bit, because it's like, this was more so about, you know, weapons and nuclear materials and stuff, and then now you added climate change. It kind of confused things a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, like, it kind of makes sense, because, you know, affecting climate change and blowing each other up are both things that we have some control over.
Right.
But, yeah, adding in a new metric just out of nowhere feels a little bit odd.
Right. So I wanted to go over that because I thought the doomsday clock was very interesting, and I was like, oh yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, so in summary, because I've been yapping forever, obviously I didn't live during the Cold War, and I was born after the fall of the Berlin Wall, so I haven't had to really worry about the threat of nuclear warfare, this, you know, in the same way that it was the Cold War. But I do find this time period very interesting. It also makes me think about how there are a lot of other threats now than just nuclear war or just weapons sort of things. I think the reason why I feel that way is because I was a child in the post 9/11 era in America. And so I think it really opened America's eyes to the fact that imminent danger wasn't just this far off concept. It wasn't just, oh, this government may or may not drop a nuclear weapon on somebody, which, don't get me wrong, bad enough on its own. But there are so many more dangers and life-altering things that can happen now than just a nuclear bomb or a big bomb of any kind, really, a hydrogen bomb for that matter. So it's easy for me to sit here and add commentary to this era, and like we look duck and cover and we laugh. We're like, oh my gosh, how goofy is that? But we didn't really live through it, and the media at the time didn't want to cause panic. And, you know, the criticism, of course, is that it was sanitizing the way we think about it. Much like I was saying about school shootings in America, I think it's been very sanitized. And, oh, yeah, no, but it won't happen at your school if you have a good guy with a gun. And, you know, that's a topic for another day. But I think that era and the messaging that was given, especially to young people, is a sharp contrast to what we see today, because not only is the average person scared of their own imminent dangers, but they can also pull out their phone and see footage of war and genocide going on miles away from them. So even if it's not directly happening to them in their backyard, they are still being affected by it and being like, whoa, all of this stuff is still going on, versus people in the 60s, 70s, even 80s being kind of insular, and like only what they're seeing on TV or they're reading in their newspaper is the way that they're getting their news. So I think it's very interesting that back then retrofuturism was so optimistic and nuclear energy and like this is the future and we can do great things with it. And when it was used for negative things and destruction, people were like, oh, maybe this isn't the, you know, good future that we thought it could be. And so I think that's why we see very bleak and gray visions of the future now, like cyberpunk, literally, because people can't be tricked anymore into thinking, oh, things are just going to get better because my government's finally going to get their shit together. Like, no, there's no more being tricked because we have the internet now and we have mass communications. And the sphere of what we see and what we interact with is so much larger than...
Yeah, no, I was going to say the internet would play a really huge part in that. Like, you know, it's definitely like a gift and a curse, right? Because you can see, like, you get an unfiltered view of essentially everything. I mean, it's a little bit harder now since we have so many, like what we have, like 3 main companies basically that control the internet and can make the algorithms however the hell they want. But even in that, like even in there though, you can still get information out and you can still see, like I know TikTok for a while was like a huge hub for seeing everything going on with the Palestinian genocide. I don't know if you want to keep this part in the podcast, but it was so easy to like go on there and get unfiltered like what kind of stuff they were going through.
Right.
And it's like the government or any world leaders can't just look at you and tell you, no, everything's fine, because it's clearly not. Like you can see, like there is evidence of it, you know?
So long story short, our government has always been sanitizing the messages that we receive. However, I would argue in some way a little bit of that is necessary to control like mass hysteria or like people not completely freaking out, like in the
That
sense
is
of the
fair.
duck and cover.
Yeah, I was gonna say too. It's like the duck and cover video. Yeah, it's essentially propaganda and it's sanitized and everything. But at the same time, it's like, you know, if they just made a video that was like, a bomb's gonna go off at some point in the future and you're all gonna die, do it, and just do everything you can, get the hell out of here. It's like, that's not gonna help. That's just gonna hurt people.
Right.
You know, so there is like a balance to be found.
It's very interesting to see how governments have changed over time and how our global threats have changed over time. And it's just wild to me to look back at this stuff and go, wow, this is so far removed, but not really, because this was like my grandparents' generation. My parents going through this in the 80s. Like it's wild to think about that. Yeah, I'm just glad I could give you guys some info. And what are your closing thoughts on all this?
Nuclear war is bad.
Controversial.
I know this is the hottest take ever. I gotta agree with Camp on that one. I think that nukes, I don't think we should be I don't think nukes are that cool.
True.
I'm gonna just be honest.
Only the hottest
Sorry.
takes
I'm sorry to
on
break
this
it to y'all.
podcast.
Only the hottest takes. I did ramble a
Absolutely.
little bit already. It does kind of suck because it's like, I don't know, we're just like in a position now where it's just like a total arms race, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I understand why governments would be unwilling to just like get rid of all their nuclear weapons and like sing Kumbaya together and shit. But it's like, it's still like, it's terrifying. Like, it can't just be like this, you know?
I think the most terrifying thing, and I will put a warning on this, if you're somebody that gets a lot of anxiety, you might want to just skip ahead 2 minutes on this.
Lexi, if you want to skip ahead 2 minutes as well.
Yeah. I think that the scariest thing for me is that, yes, nuclear weapons and nuclear energy in the wrong hands still exists and is a thing. I am more concerned about, in the digital age, how easy it would be to actually hack into infrastructure into different countries and commit acts of war by doing that. And it would be a lot, well, I say easier. It's not an easy thing to do, by the way. I have no plans to ever do this, but it is easier for somebody to learn how to hack into infrastructure than it is for you to engineer a nuclear bomb.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
100%. Especially with all the resources online. Like, some dude smarter than me could 100% program something for that.
And I don't put it past somebody to try to ransom that and use that to their advantage. So, like, that's something that in the modern era, adding in the digital element, that is something that scares me in the modern era more than just like, oh, this country might launch a nuke. Because I've always said I want to be at the center of a nuke. If they're launching a nuke on me, just take me out instantly.
I don't even want the fallout. I want to just like blink and be gone. You know?
Yeah.
And you know who is thebomb.com and the nuclearbomb.com? Our patrons over on patreon.com/campfireharvest and put in your socialsecurity.com.
So true.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You don't even have to have your social security information ransomed. You can put it in there right now.
You can give it up for free
yourself, and then you don't have to be ransomed. So it's great.
Exactly.
And I have gotten a couple messages through Patreon about topic suggestions. So again, we're still keeping an eye out on all topics that you send in through comments, through social medias like Blue Sky, and then directly through our Patreons as well. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for listening to my long episode, and I hope you found this at least a fraction of a bit interesting as I did, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you, Woke MREs.
Yeah, thank you, Woke MREs. For providing our sponsor today, Woke MREs.
I think this is now the second time we've talked about the Cuban Missile Crisis, and every time I'm reminded of the "She Cuban on my missile till I crisis" meme.
Oh my god!
Like every single time, and it's just JFK looking sad. That's all I think about when I hear that.
She Cuban on my missile till I crisis.